Hey everybody, Rune the Gaming Dad from the ARK Trade Federation, and today we're going over Community Crunch number 464, Lures, Loot, and Quality of Life. And let me tell you, if you've played ARK for a long time, in the Evolved days, switched over to Ascended, this is a big one. So let's hop into it. Let's not waste any time because this is some really awesome news. So I'm going to kind of skip over the Summer Bash stuff. We can come back to it, but this whole Community Crunch comes down to one little itty bitty paragraph that has a whole ton of stuff packed into it. So we're going to come back to the Summer Bash on 7.2, and we're going to skip through all this, and I promise it's worth it. All right, so here it is. We're planning to roll out a quality of life and balance patch next week with the Summer Bash. That's on July 2nd. At least right now it's planned for July 2nd. It's packed with a wide range of improvements aimed at smoothing out day-to-day gameplay and introduces some fresh changes to the meta along the way. And here we go. On the quality of life front, they're making some long-standing community requests. You'll be able to enable auto run from the action wheel, and while holding H while wearing armor will show the durability of each equipped piece, which I think is pretty cool. So if you're worried about the quality of your armor, you're going to be able to see it right when you hold H. Obviously when you hold H now you get a lot of other information, but this is pretty cool. But the next one is the one that I think, this is fantastic. For our farmers, the Anki, Doed, and Donkey will let you choose a specific resource type to harvest. So if you're just after metal, for example, you won't have to constantly drop stone. Holy So forever, if you've got an Anki and you're whacking metal, you always got that annoying amount of stone, which always weighs down the Anki. You got to dump the stone off or put it on the RG if you want to take it back, if you want to feed it to gotchas, whatever you want to do. You've always had to get rid of that stone. It always weighs you down, because now with a lot of the traits, you can get an Anki that has some serious weight reduction on metal. Now, that Anki can just get metal all the time. And let me tell you something, that's incredible. Just the time save alone is amazing, to know that when you go out with your Anki, or you go out with the Donkey, and you're a metal person, you want to get metal, same thing for the Doed for stone, but look, to take an Anki out for metal and just get metal and not have to worry about dumping the stone is just an insane time save, and it is so exciting. And when I read this first part of this paragraph a little earlier tonight, I was like, man, that's incredible. I can't wait. And then I read the second sentence, which says, plus the Anki and Doed will keep on auto harvesting past the current 50% max weight, even when held by a flyer, to make life easier for our solo farmers. Say what now? So now, if you're carrying an Anki with an RG, and it gets to 50% max weight, it won't continue to kind of auto harvest. We had to wait on Evolved a while actually to get the Anki to auto harvest like the Doed did. So now the Anki not only obviously auto harvest metal for you, and only will auto harvest metal, but it takes it beyond the 50% max weight limit. So it remains to be seen if once it gets to 100% weight, if it stops. So if for some reason, and obviously we won't find out until the patch comes, if the Anki can go all the way to slot cap, or to the weight of whatever dino is carrying it, you literally could just go out and farm metal until you weigh down the RG or whatever you're using to carry it. Now, that would be amazing if that's what it was. My assumption is that it's only going to take it to the 100% weight and then go from there, and it would stop auto harvesting from there, and then you would have to jump off, drop the Anki, jump off the RG or whatever you're using to carry the Anki, whack some metal nodes, jump back on, carry it to the next one. But if it doesn't, you want to make metal runs mean something now. Before it was almost annoying because you had to jump off the Anki, dump the stone, do all this stuff, and it just became kind of a thing. While metal runs are Anybody that's played ARK for longer than a week knows metal runs are a thing. But now, if it can go faster, this is absolutely incredible. And there's more to come. Don't get me wrong. But let me tell you something. Just right here for our farmers, this little section right here makes me want to jump in and just like on July 2nd, just go do an unlimited metal run and have metal for the rest of my days on ARK, because this is just fantastic, especially when you think about people that play unofficial, especially during the week. Normally you have a weekend event where you get 2x rates, or sometimes you get a 3, those magical times that you get a 3x event. Gathering metal on 1x kind of sucks. And you almost do it during the week because you feel like you have to, because we need metal. But now hey, I can just keep on flying around and go, especially if they make it to where it can go over max weight to continue to gather. Whew. I can't wait to do this. I can't wait for this patch. This is going to be awesome. I'll be pulling out the metal run instantly as soon as this patch drops to do some testing, and if it works out, we'll post a video on it and let you know. So look, I know we've been talking about this for probably 2 sentences, essentially has taken like 5 minutes of time or whatever, but this is absolutely incredible. I'm so stoked. I was getting text messages from people saying, did you read the Community Crunch yet? And I thought, well, hey, Rags just came out, which was incredible, and we're enjoying that, so it can't be that good. Well, it turns out it was. So let's move on. So on the balance side, there's some updates that should smooth out certain areas while reintroducing a bit of variety. Some examples, which obviously there's probably going to be more, so we'll probably do a video later on this, whenever this patch drops, because there's going to be more. Mech blueprints are tinkerable again with themselves only, bringing back some flexibility without opening the floodgates, not making a mech some sort of god. We don't need Voltron running around. Made some adjustments to the Tesla turret stun, reduced poison damage, and tuned down the HP on the Dreadnoughtus. And you'll also see a slight speed increase for the Quetzals and health buffs for the Spino, Mammoth, and Brontos, among other tweaks. So I'm very interested in what among other tweaks means. So this patch, again, I'm assuming they waited until after Ragnarok and 5.5 launched and all that other stuff. This stuff was kind of in the tank, ready to go, and they decided to throw it out there. So if you're done rejoicing, if you're a metal gatherer, I got more, which is even better. So, and finally, because it's too hot to keep to ourselves, the Phoenix will soon be breedable. Thank the good Lord. So they've made pretty much everything else breedable. This was the one that was kind of hanging out there. Obviously now the Griffins are from Ragnarok, but having the Phoenix finally be breedable is just incredible. And in a lot of the discords that we're in, feel free to join ours as well. The link's in the description. But some of the trading discords that we're in, let me tell you something. Having the Phoenix on there is going to be a wild time for people that want to breed Phoenix and trade them on the trading discords. So it says these are just a few highlights from a much larger list of changes and improvements we've queued up. Your feedback keeps us evolving. Thanks for continuing to be part of the journey as we continue expanding the ARK experience. This one, much larger list of changes and improvements. If this is the best thing, the metal and with the Anki and all these other things, if this is the best thing, I'm kind of good with whatever else you want to do. Like, if any kind of quality of life thing I think is great. But let me tell you something. That I didn't see coming. This whole thing with the Anki and the Doed and the Donkey and the auto harvesting and only gathering a certain resource, I didn't see this coming at all. This one came out of left field. So just awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. So can't wait. Can't wait to get this patch. Can't wait to jump on and see what this is really all about. Okay, let's take a breath. Now let's go back to the Summer Bash. So I would have led with the quality of life stuff. That's a Summer Bash, but hey, I don't write the crunch. So obviously the Summer Bash starts on 7/2 along with the quality of life changes. So it's the 2nd through the 16th. It's 2x unofficial, 4.5 on small tribes, and 5 on ARK Apocalypse. You do get the ability to this slidey and slippery Kairuku, which is new. You kill it to get popsicles to craft items from the event. So, sorry penguins, your days are numbered. Those that need organic polymer are going to bash you for with a club for poly. But guess what? Now that everybody's going to be, let's just say the the penguin population on official servers is going to get very, very, very largely reduced with this event. So kind of interesting to get popsicles to craft items. Chibis up there for you to see. Some new, they got Dino Candy still this summer swirl taffy. Obviously, you know that's most of the stuff. So it's like some improvements to movement speed, things like that. And then you've got all these new event skins, and some people like the event skins. I'm not huge on them, but there seems to be a lot of them here, especially some of these more interesting one with a squirt gun auto turret. So that ought to be very interesting. So there's just so many things that they're adding that are new to this Giga Poop swim bottom skin. I mean, whoa. And these are some of the old ones I guess they already had. We go down to the event emotes. We got a sit and a this big, I'm assuming for fish. Event emote, and there's all your colors. So I'd like to kind of pause a little bit on this, and I'll try to make it so you can see it. A lot of people like to know what the colors are for the event, so there's your chance to pause the video and see what's coming. And then it shows you how to, you know, get these things going in single player and unofficial servers. So, and then you go through the normal stuff with the mod spotlights, and then what we're doing for ARK Apocalypse stuff, because obviously the next wipe's on the 25th. So if you like playing those official servers, they got wiped today, which would be June 27th of 25. The next wipe is July 25th. So, and then they're going to add mods to that. And then we talk about just rates on the server and all the community corner and all that other jazz. But look, this community crunch, and trust me, I've loved rags, and I wanted to do a video on the kind of rags and the UE 5.5 because there's so many cool things, and we may get there. And in fact, that was supposed to be what I was going to talk about today on this video. Was I was going to do that until they did this and just blew the doors off of what I wanted to do for this video. So I think it's going to be fantastic. I think that there is definitely a push to try and get people from Evolved to Ascended. And if you look on the Steam charts, you'll always see that Evolved and Ascended, especially since Ragnarok has come out, have become much closer in a player base. I looked today just to take a peek before I recorded the video, and it was something like 31,000 each, actually, which is the closest it's been in a long time. And it did actually overtake Evolved when Ragnarok came out. But I think this is a real push by the developers to give those that have come to Ascended things you can't do in Evolved, to hopefully bring that group over, because you still do have a split audience between these two kind of warring games that they put out. So look, I love it. I hope you guys get a chance to, you know, when this comes out, to enjoy it and make your medal run life a whole lot easier. So just wanted to say thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please just hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you all on the next video.